Life coaching is one of my very favorite workspace. But to do that, I need a life too. In the present case scenario, we are being blindfolded at very major aspects of securing our lives. And today, we have with us one of the massive knowledge banks of current events and also a IAS aspirant, a very good friend of mine, Joswin, here to unfold those blindfolds. Welcome, Joswin. Welcome to our show, and thank you very much for accepting my request and being here with me on the show today.
Thank you so much for inviting me to this edition of Gunesh Bharatiya Speaks. Thank you.
The thing is, on Tuesday late nights, I had put this title on my status and asked for suggestions with this regard. Should I make a video on this? And I got a lot of responses in which involved lot things like vaccination, the third wave, condition of oxygen in our nation, and many more things. But before going into all those things, I just want to ask a doubt which was bothering me from many days. That is, in the countries which are democratic, few countries which can be called as largest democracies are facing a lot problems in consoling the present pandemic. What do you want to state about this? I mean, is that democracy the main reason behind all these hindrances? What's your comment on this?
Gunesh, it's a very good question. So at the same time, I consider giving a purely personal view as a democratic country by considering any other nations globally. As a citizens, we have certain responsibilities. So by taking a positive approach, I believe as a citizens, by uniting, by taking good steps forward, we can do much more, as we are the one who derive the power to the government.
You want to state that it's not the democracy, it's the kings of democracy. I mean, the people of democracy who need to be very cautious about it. It was quite a good response. I didn't expect this kind of response. It was good. So we'll go into the questions which I've got by my subscribers and my followers. Most of all are with regard to vaccination and oxygen, but there are a few suggestions and warnings even saying that interaction must be very healthy. So we'll give a major pressure on keeping this interaction very healthy, keeping this interaction very factual. So I chose Joswin. Why Joswin is the reason why I chose him for this discussion. So we'll start with the discussion. Joswin, one of the major problems which we are facing in the second wave of pandemic is the oxygen shortage. Is that there is a shortage of oxygen in India? I don't think that there is a shortage of oxygen, because what do you want to state about this?
Gunesh, in terms of oxygen, as in India, we produce up to 7,200 metric tons based upon the data available until the last month. We had sufficient amount of oxygen in our country. The main issue which we were unable to address within a short span of time was the logistics and transportation. So we might have gone through some misunderstandings and all, but I would like to keep few amount of facts before you. So as I said, 7,100 metric tons of oxygen is available daily in our country, including the industrial use. So this industrial use is of around 1,000 metric tons. Okay. Now considering we have some problems to address, I'll keep the data before you. We have many industries located on the eastern part. The eastern part, I'm not speaking about the northeastern part, I'm speaking about eastern part of our nation. Okay. So we have industries at West Bengal. You can take similarly up to Tamil Nadu to the south. We have some industries. I'm not considering that we don't have industries at the western part too. There are many industrial sectors, but majoritarily in terms of population, in terms of the cases, these industries are at much more use. We have limited tankers in our country, Gunesh. So I'm speaking about the tankers which can carry liquid medical oxygen. So we had 1,220 liquid medical oxygen tankers. So these tankers are maintained by few industries, and none of the industry will be interested to invest heavily in purchasing these to transport by means of road. It would be very hard, Gunesh. So by using these 1,220 trucks or tankers, we have the capacity to carry around 16,732 metric tons of oxygen. So the need in our country until the second wave was around 700 to 2,800 metric tons per day. As the second wave emerged, today the consumption of liquid medical oxygen, it got a momentum, a really great amount of fluctuation we can observe from the first COVID wave and the second COVID wave. Cryogenic tankers, these are the tankers which are used to bring and transport oxygen. So these tankers cannot be manufactured so easily, and heavy amount of investment is required. Gunesh, I'm giving you the fact. I spoke about the tankers, and this single tanker would cost 50 lakh rupees, one single tanker.
Okay.
So you can guess the amount that needs to be poured out for this big cost. So because of the second wave, today the amount of tankers are being increased, but
we are speaking about the tankers which are used to transport oxygen, not the cylinders.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Not the cylinders.
Yeah.
Gunesh, these tankers, I believe, they are playing a very major role, and we have other initiatives on the part of government. We can see Oxygen Express. In the first wave, we haven't witnessed it, but today we've watched the Oxygen Express, which is connecting majority of the cities within a short span of time. Free interstate movement has been made easy, Gunesh. The barriers have been removed. So the interstate movement of oxygen with the help of these tankers is made, the barriers are removed and it has been made easy. And I'll give one example in the state of Tamil Nadu. Almost 1 year back, a plant was closed, which was Sterlite plant, okay, in Tamil Nadu. It had its various reasons, considering the environmental pollution and all. I won't touch upon it. But as the cases were surging, the governments were not able to provide the oxygen. So as a reason, this plant has been reopened for the 4 months. And after 4 months, it would be closed. So the oxygen from even that plant is being used now. And we have certain states which were in oxygen surplus. They were exporting oxygen to other states. We can give an example of Kerala, which was transporting oxygen to Goa, especially Goa, and few parts of Karnataka. But it was the scene of last month, Gunesh. But today I am self-sufficient. And Gunesh, you spoke on cylinders, like oxygen cylinders. You had a confusion, right? Exactly. We had up to 5 lakhs of cylinders. I'm speaking about oxygen cylinders, 4.35 lakh until March. And this month, that's May, 11.19 lakh of oxygen cylinders are there in our country. So within 3-4 months, we can see how the fight against pandemic is getting a momentum and how we are able to tackle it. Providing you a much more view. The tankers used to transport argon, neon, nitrogen, these tankers are diverted to send oxygen especially. So this has been a great move, and even 60% of the oxygen produced in our country is under one private firm. 60%. So from one place or from one plant, it's very hard, but that particular firm has many various branches across the states. They have been trying to expand their plants, and we have got a expert suggestion that it takes at least 24 months to set up a new oxygen generation plant. And this statement has been given from the expert who is from the largest firm which produces 60% of oxygen in our country. That's all from me, Gunesh, regarding oxygen crisis. And even to get the villages, the rural places, self-reliant, oxygen concentrators, these are being used. It has been imported. They are being produced in the country, but we cannot compare oxygen concentrators with the oxygen which is provided in the by hospitals using the sophisticated equipments. This can be used only in the patients who are in my concentrator. It costs 40,000 to 70,000 rupees, Gunesh. At the same time, oxygen cylinder costs 10,000 to 20,000 rupees. We also faced issue of black marketing. It was quite shameful. As I answered your first question, we citizens have a great responsibility in this fight. So it was not someone from the system, but it was someone among us. So even a truck was hijacked in one of the state carrying oxygen cylinders. We observe many other things. So considering these facts, Gunesh, oxygen is sufficient, but considering this month, May, it's hard for me to express what's going on until the data of last month is quite reliable. Until last month, we were in a position, but we found it very hard to transport the oxygen. Even the Indian Air Force, by using the aircrafts C-17, they were able to airlift to the many states within interstates, and even international routes have been followed within India.
Does import of oxygen and vaccination, we'll speak about vaccination later on, but did the import or does the import and export of oxygen will help any of the nations? I mean, speaking India in particular, does the import of oxygen had helped India?
Gunesh, of course, import have helped, but not to the extent, because Gunesh, we were purchasing much of tankers and containers. We were not able to shift the oxygen, despite shift the oxygen and fill the tanks in the hospital at the right time. But the amount of help we, our foreign friends have rendered, it was enormous. And the Indian Navy under the mission Samudra Setu 2, okay, even the new Mangalore port have received twice the containers from the Gulf nations. So the foreign help is of enormous, importance. We cannot deny that fact, Gunesh. Even the United States, which had banned the critical equipments and other relief materials, even they gave up their act and they had rendered support at this juncture, so that we can, those materials were especially meant for vaccination. This gave a good momentum, to ramp up the vaccination drive in our country.
This we are in a dilemma whom to thank for it, right? For giving us the raw materials. Okay, it's a different thing. So let's move to the next part. We'll speak about the vaccination. We all need vaccination. We all see it as a solution for this pandemic. Still, we are having a lot hindrances in fulfilling the needs. I just wanted to know your view on it.
Gunesh, we are fortunate that we have the world's largest manufacturer present within our borders. So even the World Health Organization accepted it that it's the best asset and the gift provided to the globe by India. So with a nation of 120 crores was quite challenging, Gunesh. And this was the first time that adult vaccination drive was set up. Till date, there was no adult vaccination drive. And in the initial months, as the vaccination drive was launched in the month of January, the first 3 crore people were vaccinated. Those were from the frontline and healthcare workers, Gunesh. And today, the vaccination production has been ramped up, but we are not able to reach the mark, and we find it, the data we find it, and you may find it terrible. We are till date, we have vaccinated hardly 10% of the population. Hardly 10. It's 1.9% of the population who have received 2 doses, and remaining 9% to 10% have received first dose. More than 1/3 of the vaccination of the world, we can find every 1 person within our country among every 3 person. So this is the level of what our nation is going up. So we are quite faster and far away from the globe, but to vaccinate such a vast population, it's quite challenging, Gunesh. But there's a hope, and there have been facts. So as the facts are fluctuating, or as they are changing up as the month goes, you can consider these facts reliable for this month. Okay. So what I found out was, we have 2 major vaccine giants, vaccine producers within our borders. So, major giant, the Serum Institute of India, they are, they have given doses to the 90%. Up to the vaccination drive, they have provided 90% of the doses, and the remaining 10%, they are, by the Bharat Biotech, production under Bharat Biotech, it has been ramped up, Gunesh. Now they are, producing nearly 1 crore of doses for the month. Earlier, they were not in that position, Gunesh. And at the same time, Serum Institute of India, they have ramped up their production, and they were, they directly approached the US Health so that they can ramp up. Last month I read so that by September, by May they can go up for 5 crores, and by September they can go up to 8 crores. But I believe even before the month of September comes, we can go far ahead.
And one more thing is that even we must be cautious about our way of including the mainstream workers. How we treat them even matters a lot in bringing up an improvement in the country's situation. And after this, when I actually I said that I pasted the topic on my status and asked for suggestion, should I come up with this topic and all. One of the most asked question was about wave 3. Few are very much not okay with the arrival of wave 3, and few are literally confused about they are as if we are unable to tackle wave 2, and what will we do about wave 3. Do you want to tell something about wave?
Gunesh, good question it was. Considering wave 3, if we are able to vaccinate at least 70% of our population or the bread earners, we can quite greatly handle it. Experts predict,
Jocelyn? I mean, in the present situation of the production hub.
Exactly. Yes. As per the facts, Gunesh, speed which we are moving right now, it can take 12 years to vaccinate, and at least 8 years by considering a certain age group. Okay, so within experts are predicting that the third wave may emerge in September, October during these months. But it's very hard to predict, and it's their view. It's hard for me to give an opinion quite prior, but I can say responsibilities of citizens, Gunesh, first of all, and secondly, before the month of September, by achieving the maximum in whatever possible way, by dividing or by following a particular formula, at least a certain amount of population which is mainly in the working industry, if they are vaccinated, we can prevent it. And Gunesh, I also found the fact from as per the World Health Organization, I read the fact that we people had a quite confusion that whether the new variant found in India, is it able to prevent it by vaccinating ourselves, because the vaccine was developed last year, and this year they are increasing the production. And World Health Organization have mentioned till date that there is nothing found that the virus found in the new variant cannot be prevented by using the vaccine. So till date we have hope.
Presently available.
So yes, presently available vaccine. So, and till date we have the hope. And considering these vaccines, by vaccinating we can avoid the third wave, Gunesh, and by isolating ourselves.
And moving forward, Jocelyn, I asked you the first question in the first just because to make sure that the way you answer, and I'm pretty sure that you are not one among those who blame someone for something. Hope this makes you very fit to answer this question of mine, the coming question of mine. The role that government is playing now in this pandemic. You have already gave a lot statistics with regard to most of the complaints which government has, but still, is the work of government sufficient, or what more can it do in making a very fit society to tackle a pandemic of this kind? Because hope this is the first, and we shall pray this would be the last pandemic in our lifetime. But what do you want to comment upon?
Yes, Gunesh, a very good question again. I believe there's always a scope to improve. So I cannot, give a stand upon whatever we are having right now is the excellent one, the best one. I still believe there's a much more scope to improve. But I have the data, what has been done till date, and as you questioned, I'll try to address what we can look forward. Yeah. So I give the example how from the 4 lakh approximately we were able to get up to 11 lakh, but that's not sufficient because oxygen cylinder, average oxygen cylinder will last up to 2 hours for a patient. Yes. So considering the amount of cases we are having right now, it's not quite encouraging. But I have certain data. Let's have a look on it. So the tankers, Gunesh, I was speaking about the tankers which were around 1,200, and today we find 1,681 tankers. So they have the capacity to transport up to 23,056 metric tons of oxygen. So from the 16,000 metric tons capacity, we have moved up to 23,056 metric ton. That's quite promising. And last year, if you remember, we were discussing much more about RT-PCR and rapid antigen test. Yeah. Today, per day, 16 lakh RT-PCR test, 16 lakh. And rapid antigen test are 17 lakh per day. And today I read it again from the ICMR, the Indian Council for Medical Research. They have suggested that they are increasing the rapid antigen test from this month. And Gunesh, 1 lakh oxygen concentrators are...
Sorry for interruption. Actually, do you know can you speak something about the CT scan reports which are giving patients a positive report? And we are not even getting it onto our count that they are positive. Do you know can you say something about
this? Yes, Gunesh. People use this, medical equipment to go with the CT scan. But I know one fact that it's quite harmful when our body is exposed to the CT scan. It's nearly 100 times of X-rays. So multiple scans, they may affect our living in the long run in search of the short run. So that's what I have, Gunesh.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Joseph.
5 metric ton is being imported from UAE, Singapore, France, Bahrain. We have imported the containers, tankers from abroad. Even our Air Force, Indian Air Force, have bought 3 oxygen generating plants, which were imported, Gunesh. Even the role played by Indian Rail, we can find that 157 oxygen carriers run, and 637 tankers are carried. At the same time, Gunesh, 389 loaded tanker oxygen is being airlifted. Gunesh, also 81 containers of 1,407 metric ton capacity are being imported, and we witnessed 2 of it in the new Mangalore port, which were from the Gulf nations. So these were the containers which were imported. 81 containers so far by 1,000, which has 1,407 metric tons of capacity. 3 oxygen generation plants are being imported, Gunesh. And to set up one plant, it takes 24 months. So we don't have that much of time. Even 835 oxygen concentrators were imported, Gunesh. Quite, expensive instrument, which is, quite helpful in the initial stage, because to generate oxygen, it won't, take or consume much time while comparing the other facility. To March 2021, Gunesh, 609, and by May 2021, we have 901 cryogenic tanks, Gunesh. So we have quietly worked on it, and the facility to store it is being, increased. But still, unfortunately, we can find people suffocating and giving up their last breath.
It's been a quite very good discussion and very informative even. Apart from all this, apart from all these facts, apart from all the efforts, it depends on us how we respond to the situation, how we keep ourselves protected. And as a conclusion, Jocelyn, do you really find that India is being blindfolded at any point of time? If yes, then on what point is it so? Apart from all these fact checks, apart from all the efforts from all the sources, we must be very grateful for that. And with this note, as a conclusion, Jocelyn, do you feel that India is somewhere blindfolded? If yes, and at what point is it so?
Blindfolded, Gunesh.
Are we made to stay out of the factuality at any point?
Gunesh, considering the facts, I still believe somewhere even I was blindfolded. When I went across it, I found a hope. And even those who have that responsibility, they should have done it in a quite well way. Somewhere we cannot blame particularly anyone, Gunesh, during this, a very, very rare situation. But I believe as one fact was quite encouraging, and I am quite happy that we had the enough amount of oxygen. We found it hard to transport. Infrastructure became an issue over here. And to say one line, vaccination can fight a pandemic, right?
Yeah.
So facts can fight the fear, and it can also, transform the information which is surrounding around and prevent it from taking the form of one more epidemic, Gunesh.
Yes, exactly. It was a very good interaction. It was an eye-opening one. So thank you very much for joining us, for spending time with us and sharing your knowledge with us. So we are very grateful. Thank you very much, Josh. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gunesh. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's my honor to have you. Yeah. Thank you.